Hi. So today I want to talk about how important it is to take time out for yourself. To take breaks as much as you can and how that relates to the law of attraction. So basically I am out here right now in nature. I'm just taking a walk. And I have to say, honestly, I have an abundance of time. And I'm somebody who has always manifested an abundance of time, even before I knew about all this law of attraction thing. And I believe it's just because I have always felt that I have an abundance of time, and therefore this is what keeps on manifesting, this abundance of time. And but I know that there are a lot of people who don't have that, who are not manifesting that currently. And so I want to talk about that. So I have people in my own life, some of them who don't have an abundance of time, and they are constantly overwhelmed with like obligations and duties and things like that they have to do. They have conditions in their life that are symptomatic of that's how they feel, basically. And so you might have that in your life, and you might be wanting to turn this around, and you're wondering how. And most people, when they don't know about this law of attraction thing, it's like they are waiting. They're waiting on the universe. You're waiting for the universe to give you a break, basically, so that you could feel better. But it just doesn't work that way, because the universe is waiting on you. The universe is waiting for your go-ahead, basically. The universe is waiting for you to feel better, for you to feel like you have time, so that it can send you conditions that support that show that yes, you have time. So you can't get there from there. You can't get from an overwhelmed feeling to a place where you have conditions in your life that feel differently from that, because the universe is just waiting for your emotional state to change. And therefore, you really do have to start looking for these small moments of time where you can create that space for yourself, where you do have time, and then kind of reinforce that for yourself. Notice that, hey, this is a moment of time in my life. This is a moment in my life in which I actually do have time, in which I actually don't have obligations, in which people are not asking for this, that, and the other from me. So reinforce that, notice that. And eventually you will start to feel more that way. And when you feel more that way, you will have more of these moments. And that's how it works. But you can't get there otherwise. You can't be waiting on the universe to give you a break and get a break. You have to give yourself a break. And then the universe sends conditions and people and circumstances that just reflect to you that you are giving yourself a break. That's how it works. I know that's kind of shitty sometimes that it works that way, but it works that way. And even if you're someone like me who does have a lot of an abundance of time, that doesn't always mean that you have an abundance of energy. I might be out here right now taking a walk, but that doesn't mean that I have an abundance of social energy, for example, that I can actually interact with people. And I have never liked this about our society, that we think that if someone doesn't appear to have something going on, that means they are ready to do something, or that they are ready to interact with others. That's not necessarily the case, right? A lot of the time you do just need to take time out for yourself. and not just be interacting with others. You may not have the energy for that. And also, there are different types of energy. Like, for example, I might have a lot of creative energy. Like right now, I'm out here making this video, right? I might have a lot of creative energy to do a lot of creative projects, but that doesn't mean that I also have social energy, that I'm like ready to interact with people right now. And that's a good thing to know about yourself, so that you can create these moments for yourself in which you can just be by yourself, for yourself. And if you're not doing that, then chances are you're one of these people who just keeps on running around and doing things and being very productive until you get to battery zero. And that's when your body tells you basically that it's at zero, but you have been having signs of getting close to zero for a while now, but you're not taking notice, and you're not taking notice because you don't care about how you feel. And therefore, you keep on having these conditions in your life where it feels like you never get a break because you don't care about how you feel and you don't do anything about it. You don't take any serious note of what your body is telling you. And so therefore you don't give yourself a break. You don't even try to. You just keep on running around doing all these things. And I know it feels like you have to. I'm not saying that it doesn't feel that way. But I am just saying that if you want to get something different, you have to start practicing something different, and then the universe can respond to you and give you something different, can give you more time. And you know why this is so important, to give yourself time? Because this also helps with manifesting. If you're constantly feeling overwhelmed or tired, those are not good feeling feelings, are they? Those feel pretty bad. And so then you cannot get to the things that you want, once again, because you feel bad. So actually taking time out for yourself ends up helping you in a positive way, because then you have more energy. Then the things that you actually decide to do, you have energy for them. These are things that you want to do. Or even if you still have obligations in your life, sometimes we do, right? You have more energy for them. So it still ends up helping you. But you just gotta become determined. You gotta become this person who is just not willing to do just about anything that anybody else says. You gotta become this person who has some kind of boundaries about that. Because if you're just a person who does things that other people are telling you to do, you're one of these people who always says yes. What are you manifesting? You're going to keep on manifesting situations in which that is what happens. It is just going to be more and more people who are asking you to do this and that and the other. More and more people who have this impression of you, this understanding of you, that you are this person who gets everything done. So if I am somebody who has some kind of problem or thing that needs to happen, and I don't want to do it, or I don't know how to do it, or whatever, I'm going to come to you. Because I know that you're the one who's going to say yes. Because you always say yes. You're always out there handling other people's business. Because you always say yes. And most of the time, you don't want to be doing these things. I mean, maybe you do want to be doing those things, but a lot of the time when this is the case, you don't actually want to be doing these things. You feel resentful of all of these people who keep on coming to you with all of these issues. And I'm just saying that there is something active in you in this case that makes that happen, that makes them come to you. And the more notice you take of them, the more you notice that yes, this is what's happening, and the more you give them attention, the more you say yes, the more this keeps on happening. You just can't break that pattern that way. You gotta become someone who's like, actually, you know what? No, I'm not going to do this thing that you're asking me to do right now because I don't have the energy or whatever. You have to give yourself permission to like not go into this explaining mode, because you don't need to explain anything to anybody about anything. But it takes a self-convincing before you actually feel that way. And if you're not used to setting these kinds of boundaries with people, chances are when you first start trying to do it, you will feel like explaining to them, because you feel bad. You feel bad saying no. But you have to look at this person, whoever this is who is asking for you to do anything, and you have to just think to yourself, okay, this person, I know they're asking me to do this thing, but they are capable and smart themselves, and I'm sure they're gonna find a way to get this thing done. I'm sure everything in their life doesn't revolve around me doing things for them, because they are smart and capable and they can figure this out. And you know what? People do figure things out. This is a good thing about this world, is that it really isn't like if you don't do this, then things just don't get done. Like everything is constantly dependent on you. It isn't really, but it might feel that that's the case because that's what you have been practicing. And these are the conditions in your life, and now it feels like it is all dependent on you. And especially if these people are acting all helpless about it. And, it's also difficult to say no when this is someone that you can be pretty certain is going to make some type of face. They're going to have some type of attitude about it. They're going to try to guilt you or something, but this is also actually up to you. If you're going to let yourself be guilt-tripped or not. Because this is about your emotional state. This is about what are you thinking in response to this situation or in response to this person. So it's not really that they are guilt-tripping you. It's that you are guilt-tripping you about your own decisions. It's like it doesn't really matter what their response is if you can remain in this emotional place of like, I am doing a thing that is good for me, and I am no good to anybody else if I am not in a good feeling place, or if I don't have any energy. I'm not really of any use to anybody else in that case. So I am actually doing a good thing for me so that I actually can be of use to all these people. If you remain in that kind of place, then you don't feel this guilty feeling. But you have to practice it, because at first you will. If you've never done this before, or you have not done this a lot in your life, you have just been saying yes to everything that you actually want to say no to. You have to practice it. And you have to give yourself permission to practice it, because again, other people are not going to have a good response at first. And yeah, they might not like you at first. If you've never said no to anything and now suddenly you start saying no to things, they may not like that. But my experience has been that over time, this actually turns around. They actually have more respect for you because they see now that they can't just put whatever on you. Because you have boundaries. You're not just going to do a thing because they are telling you to do something. Because you actually care about how you feel. And then they can know that whenever you do say yes, it's because you want to. This is a thing that you really want to do. So you're saying yes. And they can know that about you. It's such a funny thing that people actually end up respecting you more if you have boundaries and you actually know how to say no. But you have to practice it. There's just nothing to do about that. You have to practice it. And it doesn't come overnight. But if you start practicing something like that, I promise you, the law of attraction again will respond, and it will start delivering to you conditions and people and circumstances that reflect to you that this is what you have now accomplished. You will have fewer of these people in your life who are asking you to do who knows what all the time, and fewer conditions in your life that feel like obligations and that feel like duties, because you don't feel so overwhelmed anymore, because you actually started caring about how you feel and acting accordingly and thinking and feeling accordingly. And now law of attraction is just responding to you. So it's just something I wanted to talk about, because being overwhelmed and tired and just saying yes to things because it feels like everyone wants you to say yes to things, that is a symptom of you not caring about how you feel. Not as much as is required, basically, with this law of attraction thing and with manifesting conditions in your life that you actually want. You have to start caring about how you feel and doing something about it. Because the universe is just waiting for your go-ahead. It's waiting for you to feel that way, to feel that you have time, and to feel that you are a person with boundaries who is not going to just say yes to everything, because then it can deliver to you conditions that match that, but not before then. That's a way to break out of that. And remember, your life is just a string of moments in which you feel some type of way. I don't get tired of saying that, because that's just how it is. And if you have shitty moments, that's going to turn into a shitty life. And the more you say yes to these things that you want to say no to, well, you are just going to keep on having these shitty feeling moments that then turn out into a shitty life over time. So I think it's really worth it to start caring about how you feel a lot more than you have been doing so far. So this is just, of course I can't tell you what to do. You are free to do whatever you want to. I am just here to, I guess, remind you that there is another way. And that it is a good thing. It is a good thing to take care of yourself, okay? So I hope that this has been helpful to someone, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.